As a Buddhist monk for 2 years, I wasn't really around many emotions, and I felt this, say, pressure to be stoic and calm and serene and placid all the time. Hey everyone, I'm Sean Fargo, founder of Mindfulness Exercises, and I just wanted to share one of my favorite mindfulness exercises with you, which is bringing mindfulness to emotions. As a Buddhist monk for 2 years, I wasn't really around many emotions, and I felt this, say, pressure to be stoic and calm and serene and placid all the time. And over time, as a monk, I was suppressing a lot of my emotions and just being a guy, a dude, uh, you know, raised in a culture where there's not a lot of emotional intelligence. Um, I wasn't particularly comfortable with the whole range of emotions. I kind of hung out in the middle, just kind of being, um, like calm and soft, and I kind of hid in the background, and I didn't allow myself to feel really strong emotions. And I remember when this light bulb moment came off, when I realized that mindfulness is not about feeling a certain way, it's about just being able to be with whatever's here, including anger and fear, as well as joy and excitement. And when that light bulb moment went off, I was like, wow, like I'm missing so much of my own humanity, and realized that I was emotionally unintelligent. And I was thinking I was making all this progress with mindfulness, but I was really just hanging out with what was comfortable or non-threatening. And to me, it felt very vulnerable to hang out with really strong, pleasant emotions as well as unpleasant emotions. And so, a lot of people say, Sean, as a Buddhist monk and a teacher for the program at Google and working at Spirit Rock, you must be calm 100% of the time. And that's not true. In fact, a lot of my practice is opening to the fullness of my humanity. And that includes lots of emotions that are not necessarily calm. And so one of the things that I really like to share with people, and one of the things that has helped me, is reviewing the lists of emotions to remind myself of what the full range of human emotions are, and to look at maps of emotions to see how different emotions relate to each other. It's a really helpful practice to remember that emotions aren't necessarily bad or wrong or good or right. They're just natural human feelings that we feel, and that it's really important that we feel them. And it's okay to feel them. And one of the ways to actually practice feeling them is by sensing them in the body and getting a sense for their physical characteristics, and feel into what anger feels like physically, viscerally. What does fear feel like? What does love feel like? What does jealousy feel like? What does contentment feel like in the body? And we're able to sense into the visceral sensations and get a sense for the layers of these emotions and how they feel. Where is the energy? Where is there a lack of energy? And we can get a sense for the map of emotions in the body, because different emotions have different energy patterns in different parts of the body. And it's fascinating. And there's lots of research behind this. And so when we sense into any emotion, like whatever emotion you're feeling right now, can you feel where it is in the body? And I particularly like emphasizing the belly, the chest, and the head, like these three centers, the belly, the chest, and the head, and sensing into what these emotions feel like in these centers. And maybe just hanging out in one of the centers for a while and then maybe another. But whatever emotion you're feeling right now, like, is there warmth or coolness? Is there movement or stillness? Is it pleasant or unpleasant? Is there moisture or dryness? Is there heaviness or lightness? Are the outside edges of these sensations different from the center? Where is the emotion? How does it feel? What is the geography? And can I hang out with it more and more and allow it to be here, even if it's unpleasant? And sometimes some of us think that joy is unpleasant. But can we open to the fullness of the emotion more and more? And a lot of us, quite frankly, need to open to grief right now and sadness. So allowing these emotions to be expressed, allowing ourselves to feel them in deeper and deeper layers, hanging out with them, not judging them to be wrong, not feeling like we should hang on to them or that they should be different, just kind of naturally feeling them however they are and noticing how they're changing over time as we bring this gentle awareness to how they feel. And stay with the physical characteristics, allowing the emotions to be felt. If we need to express them, say verbally, I recommend journaling them or finding someone who can hold space for you to talk them out. And to practice mindful communication, but to express it in a way that's nonviolent, in a way that's not going to be hurtful, or in a way that's going to sort of keep the same old story ruminating. So we want to allow the emotion to be expressed in a way that's nonviolent and in a way that helps us to find a sense of balance and ease and can clarify our intentions for moving forward in a way that feels wholesome and kind. But mindfulness of emotions is really important. And one more way to really cultivate the sense of mindfulness of emotions is by actually remembering a time in our past when we felt a strong emotion. Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe it was a 5 or a 6 in terms of intensity. And remembering the situation in which we felt that emotion, remembering where we were, who was involved, what was said, how it felt, and allow ourselves to feel that emotion again and hang out with that emotion. So we're remembering the emotion by reliving the story, and then we can tap into the body and sense into, what does this emotion feel like? What does this fear or anger or happiness feel like in the body as I relive it? And can I get to know it? Can I build this emotional intelligence of what this emotion is like in my experience from moment to moment. And practice being with it so that in the future we're less threatened by it and we can hold space for it without being overtaken by it or without reacting to it. And over time, we can play with more emotions in this way and practice being with these different kinds of emotions and even increasing the intensity of emotions that we can be with over time so that we can be with level 9 and 10 territory in terms of intensity. If something feels too overwhelming or traumatic or re-triggering, then, don't do it. Back off, seek some support. But the intention here is to go in baby steps so that we can be with more and more emotion and really live our full human self, like really inhabit our full humanity. To be able to be with the 10,000 joys and the 10,000 sorrows without it feeling too personal, too overwhelming, too traumatic. We can open to the full humanity in this fluid, moment-to-moment experience that we call life. And so that we're not holding on to any emotion, nor are we fighting any emotion. We're able to be with it. We're able to be mindful of this full experience, which leads to so much trust in our capacity to be present. Faith that we'll be able to get through it. This builds resiliency. So mindfulness of emotions is important. It's crucial. It's not something that's on the fringes of mindfulness. It's sort of at the core. Emotions live in the body, and we need to be able to be fluid with this energy that's in the body, with this gentle awareness, sort of lubricating the emotions to allow them to keep moving so that we're not trapping them in the body, which leads to disease and sluggishness and fear and reactivity. So, this practice is really a way to increase our energy, our resiliency, our trust, and ultimately a sense of love. Because we know that these emotions can be hard to it can be hard to open to these emotions. And, when we see other people living with fear and anger, or suppression, we feel for them. There's this compassion for them. Like, yeah, I know, I get it. It's hard. And, can we just allow ourselves to be human for a minute and to feel what we feel with a sense of gentle awareness? Can we hold space for them to be able to have this sense of courage to be here now? So those are a few thoughts on mindfulness of emotions. To be able to do this, I do recommend maybe trying mindfulness of breathing first to be able to hang out with the body for a while, see how the breath changes moment to moment with this gentle awareness. Then maybe go into the body scan, sensing into what different parts of the body feel like without strong emotions, and then segueing into being more and more mindful of this different emotional terrain. This is at the core of emotional intelligence, which is what I teach with the mindfulness program at Google. Emotional intelligence first means emotional awareness. And then we'll be able to navigate the emotions with more intelligence and less reactivity. So let me know how it goes for you. What kinds of emotions are difficult for you to open to? Which emotions have you noticed that live in the head? Which emotions live around the heart and the chest for you? Which emotions can you really feel in the belly? A lot of people, when they're depressed, there's this lack of emotion, or this lack of energy around the body. So what does it feel like for you? And how do you practice mindfulness of emotions? I'd be curious. Leave a comment in the comment section, and let me know how it goes. I hope this is helpful. Take care.